Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm super excited to show you how to cut and sew this gorgeous shred 4-tiered layered dress with straps. It's trendy and perfect for any occasion. Stick with me till the end, you'll be amazed how easy it is to create your own stylish dress. We'll be using African print for this project. You can use any fabric of choice. Then you need your elastic thread and your normal thread. We'll need your chalk also for marking chalk. So what I did, I placed the fabric on fold, which I am having it like this, on fold like this. So you divide your hip divide by 4 plus 6 inches. But before marking the line, the result which you have to mark the border line, which is that's the edge line, which is 1 inch, which you fold on the upper part. So after this, what you do next, from the line with 1 inch line, place your tape rule. Sorry, let me clean this. Place your tape rule 6 inches. Depends on how you want your off shoulder. So I'm doing this 6 inches from this line. So you measure 6 inches. From that 6 inches, you measure your half length. Remember this dress, the upper part is a low waist upper part. So I did the first, my half length, the half length I'm using as 15 inches. I added 3 inches to it, which is like this. Then I added another 2 inches. You can make 1 inches. You can add 1 inches, you can add 2. It's up to you, because after smoking it, after you finish using the elastic on it, it will jump, like to go up. So I just added 2 inches. You can do 1.5, you can do 2. So after you're done doing this, we are trying to cut the front part, that's the center front. You mark it straight through like this, just to connect. What you do next, you measure to make sure your lines are equal. That's your hip divided by 4 plus 6 inches. Then you cut out just the way I'll cut, like so. Make sure the upper part will be folding it just like this. Then we'll cut like so. Because so after you're done doing this, what you do next is to place it again on the same unfold parts, like unfold the same thing like this, just the way I'm doing it, like so. You cut out the same way, the same size, like what you have on the upper front part, cut it out like this, which will stand as our back body. So what you do after placing it like so, you just make sure it's to the same measurement, no difference. And you cut, you place your, just cut like so. So after you're done doing this, we've gotten the front, both the center front and back, which both sides are on fold. So what you do now is to mark the lines. That's the line you're using as elastic. We mark out the first 1 inch. Remember we did 1 inch and this thing allowance for the upper part folding. You do your half an inch in between, half an inch for the elastic, just like this. Just mark your half an inch all through. Then after which we'll be folding the upper part, the 1 inch, we'll fold it into two, half to make it half inch allowance on the upper part, just like this, which will be running our elastic on the first half an inch line. So after you're done doing this, having your half an inch in between, you can draw all through the line half an inch. You bring out your elastic thread and your reeler. So what you do, you're not using machine to reel this, you're using your hands to do this. So you just take your elastic thread like so, just the way I'm doing it. You reel on it to make sure it's full. Just reel like this till it's full. So after you're done, you see, find out that it's full, you just cut out the excess. You bring your bobbin just like this, you place on your bobbin just the way we do our normal thread when reeling your thread. So after doing this, what you do next is to, there's one line there which if it's tight, you open it a little so your elastic thread can come out with ease when sewing. So after doing this, will have to put the normal thread on the upper part, while the bobbin, the one with elastic, on the down part. So what you do, you take it to your machine. You first of all fold the upper part with a normal thread, not the elastic thread, please. Let me show you on the machine for us to see. Let's see like this. So this is what we are having. Sorry, I thought it was showing. It was, I was making the video, it wasn't showing. So what you do, for the first part, which is with your normal thread, then you now use elastic like so on the same line which you have your half an inch on the upper part allowance. Just stitch the first line like so, Then just the way I'm doing it, you stitch other lines just like this. I marked all through because I prefer it this way. You just stick with elastic like this. The more you are sewing, the more is the gathers is showing. So you just keep sewing like this, just like so. Just sew like this, pass through the half an inch allowance which you left. You sew all through, which by the time you finish, you have, sorry, let me cut this first. You have the gathers, that's the smoky effect like this, which you do all through. Let me do all through. I sew all through and bring for us to see. So this is what we're having. I did the front and also the back. I'll be using one as the front and the other one as the back, which you have the over part which you folded and the down parts like so. So what you do next is to join the two sides. Place right side facing right side like this, then you join with half of an inch. Just join with half of an inch the both sides. So I'll go ahead to join this and bring for us to see. So I went ahead to join it, and this is what we are having, which is the upper part of the body is like so. So let's turn the front. So after we turn the front, what you do next is to, we're having it like this. What you do next is to measure round the down part. You can times it by 2, but if you don't do that, what you do is to measure your hip divided by 4 plus 6 inches. What the result you have, you times it by 4. So after doing that, you bring in your lining. This is the lining which we'll be using for the inner, which the layers will be on top. So you place your lining on fold, which the result you have, which mine is 60 inches. I measured from this top like so. Just what you I'm doing is 6 inches. I place it on the 6 inches and measured our normal length, which was 18 plus 1 inches, 19. After sewing, I got the result as 19 inches, which our normal length was 18. I will be adding one half an inch allowance to join the down part of the skirt. So after you're done doing this, what you do now is the lining which you have your 19 inches. I just like wrote it down for us to see. The lining which you place on fold, you measure the result you have, divide by 2. That's your hip divided by 4 plus 6 inches times 4. Then you divide it by 2, which mine is 30 plus 1 inch, 31, which I'm having like so. So I had to connect the two lines like this. So after I'm done connecting, what you do now is to look for the length. Place your tape at the 18 inches. Remember we have 18 inches, but meanwhile we have half an inch on the allowance part, which I will just rule for us to see. You put half an inch on the upper part of the lining, sorry, for the joining of the skirt to the upper part. This is the half an inch, which I will just draw for us to see like this, just like so. So after you're done doing this, you now place your tape on, the 18 inches, put the 18 inches on the half an inch allowance, and you measure the length of your skirt, which this length is 35. Sorry, I don't know if you can see this. Just place 18 inches, place your tape on the 18 inches on the line, on the half an inch line. Then you measure your skirt length, your desired skirt length, which this one, the one I'm using 35 inches. I marked the 35 inches just the way I'm doing it like so. I marked on the other side just like this, just to get the accurate line. I marked here like so, and I will have to connect the lines together just the way I'm doing it like this, just like so. Connect the lines together. So after you're done connecting the lines, sorry, I had to move it, cut out, just cut what you have like this, cut it out to have the, the, the shape of length. I put it like for us to see. So what you do next after getting this, you go up by 4 inches from the down part. Remember, from the down part of your length, go up by 4 inches, which is a mark, which I'm marking like this, which I will also remove 1 inch for zipper allowance, and sorry, folding allowance on the down part. So I did a 4 inches, and the total length we are having remaining was 13 inches, which I will divide into 4. you divide what you have left. After you remove your 4 inches, divide what you have left by 4. So which I have 13 inches, I'll be marking 3 inches on the first line, 4 inches, 4 inches, and the remaining inches I have left will be 2 inches, which is making it the 4 layers. So what I do now is to put in the 1 inch folding allowance on the down part, which I also connected all the lines just like so. I connected all the lines, which I'm having the note 1 2 3 2 3 4. So this is what we have. What I have to do now is to cut out the excess I have on the down part, which we no longer need for the skirt. So I removed the excess we had here, and we're having the lining of the skirt just like this, which our layers will be on top. So what you do now, I need to duplicate the lines on the other side of the skirt, which I marked like so. I marked it just the same line of what we have on the front side, which I marked like this, and I turned like so. So what I will do next is to make a straight through from that line, just to give the same line we have on the other side, which I'll be doing my half an inch here. We'll have the half an inch on this side, which I'll be marking. Then I marked all the lines, and this is what you're having. So by the time you open, you're having all the lines together, like everything just together. So what we do now, after having this, what we'll do next is to, this is our half an inch. What we'll do next is to fold it down. You'll be folding it down by half an inch, which will make it the 1 inch which you left for the allowance on the down part of the lining. So after this, let's cut the fabrics we'll be using for the layers. So when I brought out the fabric, I brought out our fabric and I placed it on the, the remember we have Ankara as 45 inches, so which will be using the 45 inches length from this side, which you're having the edge, that's the white line here, to the other side. So I measured 8 inches for the first layers, which I'll be marking all through 8 inches to the end of the 45. And this time I'll be cutting it as I'll be cutting 4 of these for the first layer, which I will cut 4. We'll be using the 4 to do the gathers on the upper part. Let me bring the lining for us to see what I mean. So we have the lining like this, which you have the fabric like so. We'll be gathering this gathering this on the upper part, which here we're having 4. Then the second layer we are having three fabrics, which will join together. That's 345 by 3. We're having it as so. The last one is 2. We have 3 here. We have another 3, which we will be doing 45 times 3, 45 times 2, 45 times 4. So after doing this, after you're done doing this, what you do now is to cut out all the, you cut it out by 9 inches, the first one by 8 inches, which I just did the first layer. Then others will be 9 inches by 45, 9 inch by 45, 9 inch by 45. You cut into 4, the first one into 4, the second one into 3, the third layer into 3, and the last layer into 2. 9 inches by 2, 9 inches by, so I went ahead to do all that. I cut the first one, which I'm having 1 2 3 4 as the first layer of the skirt. Then the second one as 1 2 3 as the second layer. The third one also, these are all by 45 inches, 1 2 3 as a third layer, while we have the last one as 1 2, all by 45. So after we're done doing this, what we'll do next is to start pleating on our lining. So what we'll do is to join, you just join what you the length. Let's start with the last layer, which is the 2. So what I'll do, I'll go ahead to join this. I'll fold the down parts, then bring for us to see. So I went ahead to join the lining, the down part of the lining by half an inch, which is only the 1 inch which we left. I went ahead also to join the side of the 2 45 45. Then I folded the down parts. So what we'll do now is to place it on the line which we have the 2 inches. That's the 2 line, this last line which we have here also, we'll place it like so, just the way I'll be doing it, like this. Then what you do, you start, by the time you place like so and fold, you will be having it like this. Then you start pleating. But before you pleat, you leave 1 inch for joining allowance. After you're done pleating, you just leave 1 inch before sewing for joining allowance, which are, by the time you mark, you have your pleats like so. Then you just, let's mark your 1 inch like this. Then from this 1 inch you sew straight. Then when you get to the 1 inch, you top stitch, then start pleating from your half an inch. Remember, we left half an inch of the upper part. Please make sure you're sewing on the line, that line you have there. Make sure your half an inch is exactly on that line, so by the time you finish and fold like this, you'll be having it knitting on the other side. So I'll go ahead to do all this, bring for us to see. So I went ahead to pleat, and this is what we are having after I was through pleating it. I have this. Then by the time you flip like this, you have the upper part knitting just like so. So what we'll be doing next is to take our second layer, which we have it as 3, which will be joining the first. We have 3 like so. I went ahead to do that. I joined the first, the second, and the third. Then I folded the down parts. So on this part also, you do the same thing which I did on the last line. That's the last line on the length. So I'll do all that, do the second one, then I'll bring for us to say the last one. So I went ahead to make the first and the second and the third line just the way I did the first one, just like so. So after I'm done doing this, I went ahead to gather the last one we have, which is the 4 by 45 fabric we have. That's this one. I gathered it. Remember, the first part was 4 fabric, which are just the one we have 9 inches into 4. So I went ahead, I will be folding it. I did gathers on it. I'll go ahead to the machine now. I'll sew on top of the half an inch lining. Remember, we are joining both the fabric and the lining together with the upper part. So you just join your gathers like so. You join the gathers, you gather it still the same way you did, left the 1 inch on the side. You just gather it all through, which I'll go to the machine to do that and bring for us to see. So I went ahead and I did that, and this is what we're having after we joined all the layers. Guys, we have this, that's the first, the second, this is the gathers part. We have, sorry, let me trim this out. Sorry, we have the first, we have the second, and we have the third and the fourth. Sorry, the first, second, third, fourth. So what we do next, after doing all this, what you do next is to join the side. Listen to this very carefully. When joining the side, what you do is to remove 1 inch. Remember the 1 inch we left that we did not pleat. We did not start our pleat from the 1 inch. So what you do is to measure the 1 inch. You just mark just mark that point. Do that on the second side, which you flip like this, and mark your 1 inch. Do the same thing on this part and the last side also, just like this. So what you do next now is to open the 1 inch. You open to you stop to that 1 inch side, which I will be doing like so. I'll open all. Then I went ahead to open the 1 inches on the 1 inch on all the sides, which I'm having them opened like this on the sides. So what I'll do next is to join them. So watch the way I'm joining them. You take the first one like this. You'll be joining only the fabric first. After you join the fabric, because before you join your lining, so I pinned down the first part, took the second part. By the time you sew this, you see it's very clear, and you understand it more. You sew the second part, you pin down the second part. I took the third part also, I pinned it down just like this. Sorry, I pinned down the third part also, which I did the same thing on the fourth the last part. I pin down the last part too. So after I'm done pinning this, you'll be having it, by the time you sew, you'll be having it closed. So by the time you sew all through the 4 layers, is closed already, but you have the lining open. So after you finish doing this, what you do is to now open the lining. You see the 1 inch which you left on the lining also, because remember we opened the seam. So by the time you open, you see the 1 inch remain left on the lining part which we did not close. So what you do now is to, like this, you see the 1 inch like so. What you do now is to sew through the 1 inch to close that part. So I will do that and bring for us to see the outcome. So I went ahead to sew that, and we're having it closed, which we have it like so, just like this. We have the symbol, which by the time I closed it, we have, when you finish closing, you have a little hole, which by the time you close your lining, you seal from this part. You close it, flip again, you close this side just to neaten it. And when by the time you do that and all, you'll be having it neatened. Close it on top of the lining, which will be the same thing at the other side. So after doing this, we have our skirts just round like this. So what we do now, we have the side back, which is the lining allowance side. By the time you fold like this, you mark this other side as the center front. The lining part, the lining side, which will mark this side as your center front, this side as your back, center back. While the two side, you fold like this also, place it like this and fold. You mark the other two side as your sides. I don't know if you were getting this. You mark it as your side, which when you finish doing all this, you bring back your top. Sorry, turn it inside. Sorry, turn the skirt. You'll be having it inside like this. By the time you turn, you bring your bodice, you have it into, remember you have the mark, make sure you mark the line so you understand it well. So you have your bodice like this, which you have the center front and the center back, which the both are on fold. So just make a notch, or you mark those parts, which is your center back and your center front. So make sure you mark it. Let me mark like this. Just use a chalk to mark, or you can notch if you have excess fabric. So what you do now, by the time you mark and you have it like the same side will be your sides. That's the two sides. That's the same allowance side will be your two sides. So what you do now is to place the center front on the center back on the center back of the skirt, which is the allowance, which the side you have the skirt allowance, just like this. Then you place the center front on the line, which when you folded the skirt into two, the midpoint, you place the center front on this part also, just like this. You pin down the way I'm doing it, like so, just like so. Then remember we have our two side seam which will not joined. So remember the two side seam will now be one for this side, while the other one for the other side. So I have to pin this on this side, just like the way I'm doing it, like so, just like this. Then you pin the other one, the other seam allowance side on this side, which will make it the 4 parts we are having. We've gotten the 4 parts now. That's the center front, the center back, and the sides. So what you do now is to go to your machine, you stretch. When you are sewing it, you sew around, you stretch it just the way like this. Stretch your upper part of the body to make sure it meets to the skirt down like so. You stretch and you sew. You stretch like this and you sew, which I'll be doing all around, and I'll bring for us to see. So I went ahead to do that, and this is what we are having. After joining, you'll be having it like this, which by the time you stretch it down is still stretchy. You have the down part like so, and you have the upper parts just like this. So what you do next now, you're having the layers. See how beautiful it's coming out, like it's looking. So after doing this, what you have to do, I went ahead to cut the strap of 5 inches. By the time you fold, in place on fold, you're having at 2 inches, so half an inch on both sides. So half an inch, you're having 2 inches left. So you take from your side seam, you measure 3 inches. That's your center front. This, you're doing this on your center front. You measure 3 inches from the side seam, just the way I'm doing it, like this. Then you place your strap. The strap will be look for the midpoint of the strap. You place it like so, which you can fold or leave it just like that, because you've sewn it, it's neatened already. Then you just pin down like this. You do the same thing on the other side, also the 3 inches. Then you place, you put your strap also on that side, just like the way I'm doing it. Then you pin down, you pin it down just like so, which after you finish we'll be going to the machine to stitch. Please, if you've not subscribed to this channel, please do where to subscribe. Thank you so much. Subscribe, leave your question on the comment section. I'll gladly answer you. So after which you go ahead on the to the sewing machine. You can tie the upper part, like when you're done you can tie this, but before that you go ahead to stitch the side which you pinned, that's the strap. So we'll stitch it, and then my little model will wait for us to see. Sorry, please subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for supporting me. God bless you. So this is the outcome of the dress. This is how it's looking. This is the outcome of it. This is so beautiful. It can size, like it's stretchy. It just depends on your size. You can do this. Thank you so much for watching this, and see you on my next video. Thank you. God bless you.